Hello, I'm Grimgrindle and welcome to Vlogcast number 9. It's the first Monday of March, which is essentially for Channel Grim and Grin, due to a bunch of boring scheduling details I won't bother going into, the start of Channel Grim and Grin's new year. What this essentially means for you, the viewer, is a return of the old, a continuation of the current, and a progression into the future. But that's quite enough buzzwords, let's talk channel update. So firstly, for all of you retro fans out there, Grin Reviews returns this month, at some point relatively soon. It's been gone for quite a few months now because of one of the 2 series that we do in 12 episode lots, and so rather interestingly, the last episode of it to go up, aside from its input in the Christmas special, was actually quite a few hundred subscribers ago. So for any of you who haven't seen any episodes of it, it's Grin, the less handsome of the Grim and Grin duo, reviewing Atari 2600 games. If you'd like to catch up on the first 2 seasons, I'll put a link to it on the screen now, in the description and at the end of the video, and otherwise keep your eyes open for new episodes coming soon. Secondly, returning is my show Sci-Fi Minecart, which hasn't been gone nearly as long. In fact, I think Season 2 ended less than a month ago, but it will return with the first episode of Season 3, which will be going up later this month. And once again, you can catch up with the first 2 seasons of that with the link on the screen at the moment, link in the description, and of course a link at the end of the video. Moving on to the realm of continuation of the current, the sporadic reviews of pretty much everything will continue, because when I watch something I like to review it so that I'll keep up. The Terraria series My Dear Delilah will continue because I really am enjoying the ad-lib nature of that series, and of course the Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts videos will continue as long as you continue to watch it, and as long as I continue to have fun making them and continue to come up with fresh ideas. I've still got a lot of them at the moment, and your viewership has not slowed down, and I've still not got sick of the game after playing it for many years, so it's likely we'll continue to hammer those out for the foreseeable future. Speaking of future, the Fixtorian video series that we're currently hoping to put out more of is doing extremely well, with Rogue One to A New Hope, after only a couple of months, already our second or possibly third most viewed video. We have a lot of ideas for Fixtorian videos, like literally dozens of them, but they're going to continue to be put up very slowly and not likely more often than once every 2 to 3 months. This is simply because they take a lot of research to do properly. You have to read multiple books and watch multiple movies to find all of the references to back up your arguments, and we want to keep the series at the level of quality that the first video in the series has established. So expect more of them, but do understand that they do take a lot of time. And speaking of taking a lot of time, there are also several other projects we're working on that are in too early a stage of development to announce properly, so this is an announcement of a future announcement, because we don't want to announce anything concrete too early, because it's worse to set a release date and then delay it, crushing people's expectations and hopes, than it is to say, hey, look at this, and drop it the next day. I feel like that's more exciting, and I feel like the hype culture in many areas has almost gone too far, that by the time something's released, you've almost gotten over it. Ironically, speaking of hype culture, there's quite a few movies I hope to watch in the cinema this year, so I'm going to likely do many more initial reaction videos. I find them really interesting to do because my initial reaction videos are very different to make and a very different line of thought than my reviews of games and movies that are more of a critical analysis. In general terms, when I leave a cinema having just seen a movie, I think a lot more highly of it than if I were to sit down for a few hours and really pick apart a movie. And I think that's a really important and rather interesting difference between an initial reaction and an actual critical and analytical review. I mean, when it really comes down to it, most of the films that I really love to see are supposed to be big events seen on a big screen. They're action movies, sci-fi movies with big set pieces and explosions and large panning shots, and they're usually designed to be exciting and thrilling for the duration of the movie, rather than be cinematic masterpieces that are meant to redefine the genre. But on the other hand, every single movie is a piece of art. Whether it be a good piece of art or a bad piece of art is left to be decided by the individual viewer and left to be debated by the individual reviewer. And so I think there's a lot of merit in the actual importance of an initial reaction video. It's 2 very different things to come out of Rogue One excited and full of the energetic hype and say, that was one of the best movies I've ever seen, than to sit down and analyze every scene, the camera choices used, the actors' performances, and the overall implications of Rogue One in the existing Star Wars franchise. In the end, the wider public, which is essentially the golden goose to the movie studios, is more interested in the initial reaction. They don't need to hear, nor would they be interested to know, the wider implications of the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Marvel Cinematic Universe following Winter Soldier, but they are interested to know that it's an exciting superhero film that almost feels like it's got a sort of Jason Bourne vibe going on. However, obviously I kind of sit outside of the wider public because I am interested to know those wider implications, and of course so do many of you. Ironically, we're not considered the golden geese because We're going to see the movie anyway, even if everyone says it's not very good, which is why I go slightly more in depth into it in my reviews and a lot more into it in my Victorian videos. But because of this, I see merit in both videos, and so this year you'll probably be seeing more of both of them. So with all of that channel updates out of the way, let's move on to Pop Culture Corner. If you've watched many of these vlogcasts before, you would know that I don't usually watch trailers for movies because I don't like to have anything spoiled, and trailers these days in general give away too much darn information. However, I went to the movies and saw Logan the other day, and of course, before the movie you get trailers, and short of closing my eyes, sticking fingers in my ears and yelling nah, can't hear this, it was pretty unavoidable that I would see some trailers. So in rather speedy short form, Ghost in the Shell, Pirates of the Caribbean and Alien Covenant all look good, and I look forward to seeing them. Although I was admittedly a little bit disappointed when I found out that Alien Covenant was not going to be a Halo movie. When I saw the title trending on Facebook, I did for a very brief moment get a little bit excited. As far as my video game consumption goes, as you can see, I'm currently playing Banjo-Kazooie, which is the background video in this game, which I hope to get some content from and will probably do a review of. And I'm also currently working my way through the Master Chief Collection, while also of course still playing Nuts and Bolts and Terraria. And there's also a couple of Facebook games that I'm playing to do a review on at some point. As far as books and TV shows go, I'm still pretty much in full gear of trying to get ready for the next Star Wars chronological order video, so I'm basically just slamming through Star Wars books and watching the Clone Wars again. I am also trying to catch up with Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I'm pretty far behind on, I think, and so far the show continues to largely disappoint me. I do like the character recently introduced, which I'm assuming is Ghost Rider, and he does look pretty badass, but I can't help but laugh that every time he needs to fight, there just so happens to be a loose chain nearby. I think at this point it's happened 3 to 4 times, and it's just getting to the point of being utterly comical. And with all of that said and done, that pretty much brings us to the end of vlogcast number 9. Since the last vlogcast, we've had about 70 new people subscribe to this channel, so welcome to all of you new subscribers, and we hope we can entertain you. And to the old ones, as always, thanks for sticking around. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, I have been and still am Grim Grindle.